about it too.
Here we
I
go.
hate technology.
All right, guys, welcome. January. Really? It's January 3rd. And welcome to our January group meeting. This is for anybody that falls under Beantown. I know that we've all separated under our directors with our groups and our team pages, but once a month we can kind of connect and get back together on this call to just say, hi, how you doing? And we can kind of move in one direction. And if you have any questions, it also gives me time to say hi and see face with you guys because I don't get to see you guys as much or hear from you since parting ways. But that's okay because you all have amazing leaders that are guiding you and leading from the front. And I'm really excited for that because they all deserve the leadership and the time and the chance to kind of develop themselves and show you what they got. So this month is obviously not just a regular month, it's a new year, and I'm super excited about it. You know, I don't have to be excited about it. I could be thinking, like the beginning of a new year and a new month is a lot to kind of prepare for, right? Like a new month is a lot to prepare for, never mind a new year. So I don't want anybody to think of it as like a daunting task. I want you to be excited about it because you make the choice to be excited about it, right? You could focus on, I have all these things to do. And, you know, you have to take all your Christmas decorations down. You have to, you know, maybe you have a full-time job where you require like end of year things that you're still doing or whatever it is, right? There's always things going on. I want you guys to look at this as a new perspective and a renewal of some kind, right? And reflect on 2020. And it was a crappy year personally for a lot of people with just the circumstances in life around the world. But for Scentsy, our business grew, our business tripled, our business quadrupled. Scentsy grew like leaps and bounds, which trickled from the top into our personal independent businesses. My business doubled. My business doubled. And I was not expecting that through a pandemic. I never envisioned, I always envisioned my business being successful because that's what I wanted, but I never envisioned it during a pandemic. Like it would have been the polar opposite if somebody told me that. So it really is what you make of it. It's in your mind, your thoughts, and your actions. So you choose what you really have control of your own thoughts and where you take it. Okay. So, in general, my standard is not perfection, and it shouldn't be yours either. My standard is showing up. Just show up and let the rest fall into place. Show up and start there. Show up and start small. Show up, start as an amateur. Show up, start as a beginner. Just show up, okay? Just showing up will get you, honestly, guys, halfway there. Just show up. When you're not showing up, you're not even giving yourself a chance. You're quitting before you start. You're just not even making it any kind of priority. Just show up, okay? In this month, we are going to start a group movement. Remember back in April, we did active in April because it was like really, we kind of understood like the depth and the effect of the pandemic, like what was happening, like everything globally was shutting down. We didn't know what that meant for Scentsy. For us that did home parties, like we no longer could. And we were like, oh my gosh, like what is going to happen now? Is this going to be the end of our business? No, it was actually a time where we adjusted our sales. And what I had resisted to do for years of my business, online parties, was what was going to be what drove my business in 2020. Not just maintained, but drove my business. What I was resisting for years and then pushing on to you guys was what ultimately changed my business in 2020. Very ironic, right? So we're going to do kind of a little play on active in April. And we're going to call it, as you can see, if you're on Beantown, I made it our group cover because I want you to see it. I want it to be in your face. I want you to think about it. I want you to act on it. I want you to prepare for it. And I am calling it Jumpstart in January. So we're going to aim for every single group member in Beantown. Okay, we are Beantown as a group, but then we have all these amazing directors, right, in our group, and you all have separate teams. And you can take this to your team, which I suggest you do. I mean, why not, right? And we are going to aim to have every single person in our teams, in our group, at least active. Now, for a lot of you guys, you're a leader, you're aiming, 2,000 PRV, whatever your personal goal is. So I know some of you may be like, okay. So if your goal is over active, if you are aiming for higher PRV every month and that's your norm, then let's focus on being encouraging to others and reaching out to your team that may not get active every month. It may be easy for you, but let's really focus on getting everybody jump started, okay? Because for some people, it sounds overwhelming, right? They look at leaders, and they look at, peers or teammates and think, oh my gosh, like 2,000, like they say their goal, we ask them what their goal is. 2,000 PRV, 2 new teamies, 5 parties a month. And they're saying that just because maybe they think that's what they should be aiming for because they see all of us or a lot of us doing that, when that is unrealistic. They're going to set themselves up for failure and they're going to quit before they even start. So let's focus on getting everybody active, right? And if they're an amateur, if they're a beginner and they're just showing up, like I said, right? They're just not aiming for perfection. We don't want that. We want them to just aim to show up. And we're going to help them get active, everybody. So that means reaching out to everybody on our teams, talking about it, right? We can't just talk about it once and then expect everybody saw that post. No. I mean, there's so many people that do not work their business actively or full-time or even part-time. So they're not going to see one post one time. Talk about it, reach out, see how they're doing. New year, how's everything going? Even if your goal this year is just to get Scentsy free, we'll help them achieve that goal, right? I speak most of the time to the people that want the same thing as I do when I'm speaking, when I'm posting, when I'm going live, but don't forget about everybody. And we want to start this new year off with the belief that they can achieve what they came here for, right? And at bare minimum is let's get them active. Let's get them active. Okay? So we also have a new minimum is you need to get active once a year with Scentsy. Like that is crazy. Like they've lowered the standard and the minimum to just stay in consultantship, right? And of course, you guys know that if you don't get active, if you have a team, at least one person or more, and you don't get active, 1 out of every, is it 3 or 4? 3 or 4? 3. 1 out of every 3 months, it's 3 or 4, but 1 out of every 3 or 4 months, then you lose your team. And that's incentive to not want to do that. Like, I would never want to lose my team from just not getting active. Okay, so let's start this new year off with really meeting everybody where they are. Okay, and it's going to have our leaders, that's one person or more on your team, rise to the occasion and reach down, right, and help their teams at least get active. And again, if you're a leader, obviously that means you need to have at least 500 PRV or more to get paid at title, to do all these other things. But we want to see a movement, okay? Everybody, if you have a team, you're your GWV, TWV is going to go up. But we really want to do this and focus on helping everybody build the belief that in 2021, right, they can do this. And if they did come here for a big business, but you look at their numbers for the past few months and they've been zero across the board, or they haven't even been active or very inconsistent, right? Then we want them to start off with the belief that, okay, I can do this. Let's make realistic goals. Let's just get active right now. And then we can figure out how to continuously do this. And then we can raise the bar, right? If that's what they want to do. But let's not forget about everybody. So we're going to start Jumpstart in January and get active. Everybody get active. Okay. Different ways that we can get active in January. I want to preface by saying we may have to do things that we normally don't do, or try new things because, although every single month you have the potential to have a super successful high sale recruiting month, just as any other given month, right? Things shift late December into January. They shift. That's how I'm going to put it. Okay. So your effort, your intention and preparation needs to shift with it. Okay. So don't be afraid to try different things. Don't be resistant. Resistant and this business do not go hand in hand. Okay. You will find yourself coming to a screeching halt if you only want to do what you want to do and what you're comfortable with. That is not a good mentality for this business. Okay. You have to move and be fluid with your changes, you guys. You have to be willing. And oftentimes, right, I want to say that we should be focusing on not what we can do, but what we should do. What we can do is, Kristen talked about this yesterday. We have a director page. So once you become a director, you get this exclusive page where you come together with other amazing masterminds in this business and talk leadership things, and very honest. And, it's just a great place. And so she was talking about yesterday, not just getting by, right? And to be completely honest, in December, like there's so much going on. Like you have Christmas, you want your family to have a good time. You want to focus on your kids and be in the moment, and you're trying to find balance, right? And you're trying to shove everything into the first 2 weeks of December so you can enjoy. But I'm so focused on shoving everything in to get to the end and have my time off that I'm bare assing the first 2 weeks. I'm half-assing everything to just get by, to just get paid a title. Okay. Last month, my sales were just over 2,000. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys that, I had my parties, did what I could do with like having things on stock to sell to my customer VIPs, like in the moment, blah, 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 things they needed on hand for Christmas. And I was just under 2,000, and I didn't do much follow-up. I kind of let whatever fall in place as far as my parties go and, things like that. And I went and I was like literally $11 from 2,000 PRV. And I went and placed an order just so I would hit 2,000 PRV. And that was like, all right, I'm done. I'm calling it a month. And should I have done that? No, I shouldn't have done that. I was focusing on what I could do instead of what I should do, right? Like I'm a business owner. I'm a legit business owner, you guys. What do you think about this? When you think about this business, what do you think about? Do you think about like, okay, this is like, I have a full-time job, so it doesn't really matter. Like if Scentsy, comes or goes, or it doesn't really matter if I do anything with this. Like, what are you here for? That's one thing I want you to think about going into 2021. What are you here for? What are you here for? Do you have goals? Do you have a goal for 2021? I've asked my leaders this, and I'm still waiting to hear from pretty much all of them. But do you have goals? If you don't have goals, right, it doesn't matter if you hit them or not, because there isn't any. So if you don't perform to a certain standard, it doesn't matter, because there's nothing to aim for. So if you don't, like, I'll just aim to get paid at title and then smooth sailing, and then I'm done for the month, right? Guys, when you focus on what you can do instead of what you should do, right? Like, you're giving up so much. You're giving up so much. I want you guys to really think about what your goals are. And then it's going to force you to break it down and think about your business and how you're going to hit those goals. Okay? And what you should do doesn't always equal the easiest, most convenient path. Okay? What's best and what's easy are completely two different things. But what's easy, right, and what's best will also show you two different results. And it may be getting uncomfortable. It may be trying new things and not being resistant, right? But it's going to build your character. It's going to build you as a consultant and a leader. Don't always take the easy road, okay? Take the best road. Take the road that you should take, not what you can and what's easy, okay? They equal two different things. So what are we going to do to help our teams get active? For ourselves, we have a catalog that's 10% off this month, okay? So on all platforms, start promoting that 10% off. Start promoting that sale all the time, not one time. Right? We talked about at the very beginning of this call that when you're talking to your team or you're sharing something with your team, like talking
How do I get my...
What's that, Marnie?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean...
Oh, no. That's okay. I just didn't want to keep talking if you had a question. So the 10%, hold on. Is it just wax? Okay. So promote the wax, right? Promote that 10% off all over the place. And like I was saying, with your team, right? Just like your team, with your customers and your audience on social platforms, they're not going to see just one post that you put up, because not everybody checks social media all the time. Not everybody is tuned in and, spending any or ample or enough time on social media. So make sure that you're talking about it all the time, you guys, right? They need to see it. It needs to be in their face. On average, somebody needs to see something, guys, 7 to 9 times before they actually purchase something. So if you're showing it just once, that was like in one ear, out the other, right? Like, when they see it over and over and over again, or maybe they don't see any of them, they're only going to catch one. That one time that you decided, okay, I'm going to post this all week long. If you didn't post for the third time, maybe they wouldn't have even seen it. Okay? So start promoting consistently. Create a follow-up message. And I would say reach out to anybody that has ordered from you in the past 3 months. Okay? Follow up is, I was just watching, this morning while I was in the shower, I was playing a keynote speech from Orville from 2019. And he said in his speech that the average customer does not order, no, 70% of your customers only order once. That's crazy. We're in this business to create a customer base, to create consistency, to create amazing customer service, to create connection, because the natural progression of this business is buy, host, join, right? So if your customers are only ordering once, that's a one-hit wonder. That's just like, right? But create that continuity and that they're going to continue to order from you. So follow up is a big part of this business. Look at your workstation and see who's ordered from you in the past 3 months. Create one message, okay? And start personally reaching out. Start personally reaching out. Create one message. And don't avoid the personal outreach. You can post in your customer VIP group. I'm going to do both, right? Don't just throw up a post on Facebook or in your stories or just on your customer VIP page and say like, guys, there's wax, you want to stock up 10% off, and then just expect people to be going through your link and ordering from you. And then you say like, you did what you could. Bullshit. You didn't do all that you could. Okay? Personal outreach is required. It is part of your job description. And if you haven't really done it a lot, that's okay. You've got to start. Start as an amateur, start as a beginner, right? We're not aiming for perfection. We're aiming to show up. Start. Okay? Personal outreach, you guys. Build the connection. Build that one-on-one rapport, right? When you do that, your customers are going to look at you as their Scentsy girl. They're going to continually order from you, right? Not just that one time. When you personally address somebody and create that connection and rapport, right? The natural progression happens. Buy, host, join. If you're just throwing up posts on social media, they're not going to feel any kind of connection or way towards you, right? They're just going to, yeah, whatever, and keep scrolling. We've said from day one, this business is relationship building. It's not sales. It's relationship building. How are you creating continuity with your customer base? How are you, how are your customers hosting parties? And then they host, and it's a no-brainer that they join. Is that happening? If not, we need to increase our follow-up, okay? So create a message. This is something that I would say, this is just as kind of something you can go off of. Please create your own, what's natural for you. If my verbiage isn't something that you would say, don't say it, okay? Because they're going to be like, oh, there's a copy and paste message. You can spot them a mile away, right? I get them all the time from people in other direct sales companies. And when I see it, I'm like, oh, one hand, I'm like, oh, listen, like, don't do that. And I'm just trying to help you, right? Like, we've all seen it, especially if you've been doing this for a while. And on the other hand, I'm like, ugh, like, stop sending me these ridiculous messages, right? So do what works for you, but listen, do it. You got to do it, okay? You got to do it. Personal outreach. So I would say something like, hey, Susie, Happy New Year. I hope you and the family are well. I'm touching base to let you know we're having a big 10% off sale on all wax. And it's your last chance to get your hands on all your favorite fall winter scents. Okay? I would set up a link in my workstation. Okay? And I would say in the message, here is a direct link to check out our sale. And for everyone that places an order, they will be entered into a raffle for a free 6-pack of wax. Okay? Not going to get into it, but how? Well, when they get their, or when you reach $200 or more, you're going to get the perpetual party reward, and you're going to pay half off for a 6-pack of wax, which is going to be worth it because you could be getting no sales at all, or you could be getting sales and offering something. And then in the same message, so you can have the direct link that you set up, I'm also offering a super easy and casual 30-minute online scent event with only your closest family and friends. That means you'll get all the free and half-price products of your choice, and I'll even throw in your own free 6-pack of wax or a free mini warmer, whatever you want to do. Again, for if they host a party, then when they hit $200 in sales, you're gonna use their perpetual party reward and pay the half off. Okay? But again, for paying whatever you want to offer, if you offer a mini warmer, you're paying $10 to meet brand new people, to get high sales, to in your party, you should be, doing something to book another party from these people. So totally worth it. You're going to get back more in commission. This offer is good for this month only. Looking forward to hearing from you. Okay. So you're offering them something, you're creating a sense of urgency. So in that, you're reaching out to the people that have ordered from you in the past 3 months. You're giving them a chance to get all of their fall winter scents for cheap. They can only do it this month, right? So if they just order, you're going to hand them the link, right? Make it easy for them. Post the link right in the message. So if they order, they're going to be entered into win a raffle, and you're just going to get a 6-pack of wax, right? When you close your own party. And then at the same breath, you're going to offer them in January, have a 30-minute online scent event. They could get everything that they want for free and half off. That's any products, right? And to make it worth your while, I'll throw in a free XYZ. Okay? So you're creating a sense of urgency, and you're saying for January only. Okay? So if you don't know where your sales are coming from this month, that's because you haven't prepared. Being prepared is a huge part of this business. Going into 2021, think about how you're going to be prepared. And in being prepared, right, what will help you get prepared is being accountable or holding yourself accountable. How do you hold yourself accountable? By having goals. You need to have goals that hold you accountable so you know what you're working toward every single month. Okay? Do you guys have any questions?
Can I say something?
Of course you can.
Just also on the topic of what this stuff that's being discontinued. So if you know your customers, you should go down that list and see if there's any scents on there that they absolutely love. Like I have people that only will buy like certain scents all the time. And if that discontinued scent is on there, I personally reach out to them and let them know that it's going bye-bye. And that's a good way to get sales too.
And that's an incredible way to get sales. You could look that up, guys, on your workstation.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's being discontinued, you can put in that product and see anybody that's ordered it. Also, what Jess just said, right? If they have something that they really love and go crazy over, they can do the subscription and get my bar. Always get my bar, right? That leads into consumable products that they get every single month, right? That's consistent PRV right there. Amazing idea, Jess.
I have a question about the club.
Yeah.
So I have a customer, she gets the shimmer dryer discs.
Mm-hmm.
She won't get those forever, correct?
Correct.
It's only always get my bar?
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to make sure because I wasn't.
Mm-hmm. It's only bar. Yep.
Okay.
Any other question before I invite? I see you, girl. She's like, you're gonna ask me to talk. She's like, I didn't know you were gonna do that. Kristen, look at your SSD. Living life. If you have questions, please ask. But Kristen, come on up, girl. She just freaking walked away. Oh, I'm like, is she for real? She's like, bye.
I was gonna go get some water.
Go get
What would
it.
you like me to hold on?
Dry mouth?
Let me grab. Shut up, Colleen.
Your tongue sticking to your roof of your mouth.
Definitely not. I need to go get my nails done today because I work the next 3 days. So I got to get my life together so I can work and do that. All right. So Let's see. What would y'all like to know?
Well, going off of what I was saying, just about
Yes.
getting active, what you
Yes.
were talking about yesterday on our director page was not settling for less and not just getting by. Like,
Well, yeah, and I feel like one of the biggest things that I said on there yesterday too is that like every single one of us, y'all, every single one of us has whatever it takes inside of us to be successful. Like, you know, Colleen says it all the time. I'm literally just a girl from Quincy, Mass, just like most of you guys. I have no sales experience. You know, I'm the first one in my family to graduate from college. Like, I was the first one to, like, you know, figure some shit out. But what it was is that, like, I didn't stop. And there were a lot of people. I mean, I remember when I joined, I had people tell me that I would only ever make enough to pay my car payment. And I was like, okay, well, let's see how this goes. Let's see what we can do. And, you know, the journey wasn't easy, and it was a lot of trial and error. And one thing I really noticed, and I said this yesterday on the call, is that if something's not working for you, do something different. The biggest mistake that a lot of people make in Scentsy is that they're not teachable, and they get stuck in this mold, and they feel like they have to do one thing and they can never differ. I built my business off of tote parties. I did tote parties for almost 6 years, y'all. And then COVID happened. Guess what Kristen Ingalls had to do? Figure out a different way to work. Just like what Colleen was just saying about online parties a little while ago. I had to figure out a different way. So my follow-up system and my customer care got so good that I physically mainly run my business off of PWS now. I don't do a whole lot of parties anymore, and my PRV every month is over 2,000. But I had to change the way that I was working. And what I want to tell y'all is that you don't listen to Colleen when she's talking about this whole active situation. She has an idea. There's a reason that your leader is a star director. There's a reason that she is, and there's a reason that she's going to promote to SSD in 2021. And it's because she comes up with new ideas, and she's intuitive, and she knows what to do. And when someone has wisdom behind them, she has wisdom because she has experience. And when someone has wisdom, you got to listen to them. So much of us get stuck in our own heads and our own ways because we're like, I know what she's saying, but I really feel like maybe I should keep doing it this way and see what happens. Well, guess what? 6 months is going to go by, and you're going to be like, well, shoot, it's not working. Maybe I should have listened to Colleen. She knows what she's talking about for a reason. So listen to her. And I mean, I think that's kind of
you know what, guys, though, too? Listen to yourself, because you know if you're doing your best, you know.
Everyone is so stubborn.
You know what you should do, right? Versus what you are doing in like the can and should, right? Please think about that and make
never
your goals.
stop being teachable. Never stop being teachable. Shoot, I'm y'all's SSD. Okay, I drank too much last night, but I literally set my alarm because I was like, I know that every time I get on a training call, if it's me doing the training or someone else doing the training, I'm going to pull a nugget of information from that training call, because it doesn't matter if I have a group of 65,000, you always have to be teachable. Mm-hmm. Always. Mm-hmm. And the second that you stop growing and stop learning, you're going to die and your business will die. Mm-hmm. So you always have to be teachable, and you always have to learn. And y'all, you gotta be the best at your trade. If you don't know what's going on, you better figure it out. You better ask a question, because you need to know what's going on. Someone just left. She was probably like, who's this crazy girl?
You're like, who's this girl slurring over a word?
Why is it? I am not slurring.
I know you're not. I'm just messing with you.
I might be.
But really, guys, I really highly encourage you to have goals, okay? Goals are so important. We don't just say it to say it. We say it because it's really what's going to hold you accountable and keep you
gotta do it
and growing. And, you know, if you have a team, like talk to them, be open about what your goals are and share with them, right? Like it's just, you know what you should be doing, right? And again, just show up. Even showing up for these calls, okay? Just show up. You look at you guys. You are here, right? Just start a movement, and now don't miss any other ones for the year. All right. So right now, like, you're winning because you've shown up to every call this year.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay. So keep it going, right? This is what separates the successful people from the people that fall off. And it happens all the time.
Can I say one more thing real quick,
Yes.
too? I was sitting with my friend Maria last night when we were, having a couple cocktails and stuff. And I did this training. I don't know if you guys saw on Rockstar Rally, I don't know, maybe a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the points in my training was, you got to have a timeline. And there's so many points that go into being successful. But one of the biggest ones, and it's definitely for me because my ADD is so bad, I have to have a legit timeline in my head of when I need to get things done. Because if I don't have a timeline, and that's going back to what Colleen's saying about having a goal, you got to have a dream, and then you have goals to get to that dream, but you got to have a timeline in place for those goals. If you don't have a timeline in your head about what you want to do in 2021, you better make one. Because if not, 2021 is going to go by and it's going to be over. So make a timeline.
It's going to look just like 2020.
Sure is. And that
Just
was
the same, right? But even though I say to you right now, like 2020 was one of my best years for results in this business. But guys, like I'm on to some new-ish right now, right? Like I need new goals. I have things personally that my goals need to support. Okay? So don't be afraid. Don't give up before you start. Start as an amateur, you guys. If you've fallen off, start as a beginner. Start. Just start, okay? Just start. So if you guys have no further questions, comments, then we'll end this off. But Jumpstart in January. Talk about it, speak about it, be about it, okay? Everybody should get active. I mean, a lot of people on this call are heavy hitters. So obviously I'm not going to say like, okay, just get active. Like you guys are way beyond that. But do you know that the majority of our group, the majority of your teams do not actively work their business month to month? So that means we're really talking to the majority of people in our organizations. Okay? Let's everybody get active. You have to talk about it. Okay? Everybody gets active and we're going to do this. All right, you guys? Share the ideas, get down face to face with your teams and let's grind it out. Happy New Year. I'll see you guys in February, every single one of you. Bye.
Thank you.
Love you guys.